I was saying, yeah, I felt like I should have just led with that. You know, like, we're going on the same spiritual journey, but when we get, like, words, a lot of people, you know, with semantics, like, I like to say I interpret your action as a lot. Like, if I feel like somebody does something selfish, I'll say I interpreted this as a selfish act. And I was like, that's not what I meant. I keyword, interpreted. Does not mean how you meant it. It means that's how I took it. So I feel that I am taking the blame in that aspect where I'm saying I misinterpreted. I did not understand what you said.
Or at least willing to take the blame in order to figure out what's going on. Right?
Yeah. And like I said, a lot of times we're getting crossed up on just the actual meaning of the word.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, you know, I mean, I do know what these words mean. I will bust out the dictionary if you're trying to get literal, but that's not the point. The point is that the message is that we're on the same page and we want to get back to the same page. Yeah. Thank you. And that's where I found the most difficulty, and I felt that I had to be the one to be very, very focused and intentional with, you know, my relationships, because, yeah, I had, like, one of my friends was like, I'm not going to fucking talk to you anymore, and I was like, at this point, like, fuck you, but at the same time, like, I don't think you mean that, I don't mean that, that would make me very unhappy, I don't think it has to be like that. We ended up back to zero. And there was an apology. And I was like, okay, so it's not entirely me. Or at the very least, I do have the ability to rein in disagreement.
Mm-hmm.
So I was excited about that, but also just very emotionally drained.
Yeah, I mean, it's not simple work, because also it sounds like there's a part of you that's going into these situations expecting people to have a frame of reference where they're trying to get to an honest analysis of the situation, as opposed, or rather, I guess in your words, to be on the same page, where in actuality what they're attempting to do is to get you onto their page and make it look like we're trying to get to the same page, which, you know, isn't necessarily good or bad. It's just it's because that other person has a different premises. Yeah, agenda, there we go. Because the person has a different agenda, if you're treating them like they have your agenda, it's going to be more confusing and frustrating. It's like when somebody's doing something stupid, and then someone else is like, why would you do something stupid like that? And they're like, well, it's stupid. You know, there's not really any reason to be there's not any logical reason to be doing it. It's stupid. So you can't be trying to find a logical reason in something stupid if it's stupid. And so people are doing things that are dishonest, I guess you could say. Or you know, you can't necessarily find a logical reason behind what they're doing. So if you're looking for one, you're not going to see what they're doing. And so if you take from the comprehension and understanding that what this person is doing isn't based in logic, you'll be able to see what they're doing, as opposed to trying to look for how is this person being logical when they're actually not.
Well, you know, so then when I get back to that, it'll be people that I'm very close to. So it's that I don't feel like this person is attempting to do anything shady to me. Like, say with my mom's case, like I don't feel as though my mom is trying to like subvert my feelings. I feel that she is just not aware, and it may have a different. I mean, she could be like, I'm gonna take the blame for this. I feel like she is.
Yeah, you gonna see. Look, you're just about to say you didn't feel that.
I was gonna say that, and I'm glad, right? I'm glad you said hold up, because I was like, I actually do know when people are trying to play me, and I do get really pissed, and I yell at them. I'll be like, hold up, don't fucking play me. What the fuck you doing?
I do that.
I was like, I'm much better at it than you are.
Right?
You know, you have to give. This motherfucker can think that I'm not lying, and you're not doing that. So let's chill. Let's get back to neutral. Get back to zero. Stop doing that fuck shit. And if you want to continue this conversation, you have to listen to what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, that's one way to deal with it. I would say another way, there might be more to your general nature and less stressful, would be to see them for what they are, which is what you're doing, but not necessarily hold them to the standard of being something else.
True.
Like if they come at you dishonest trying to play a game, and you see that's the case, give them a thing to play a game with. Even if, you know, they think they win, if you're playing the game the way you're playing the whole time, you win.
Right. Well, so that is my usual strategy. And what I have felt, like, say I was talking, like the girl I was talking to, her name is Hilda. We've known each other for a very long time. We have had many, great conversations and many arguments. So, with her and I, it's that, like, I will do that. And for a long time, we just weren't talking to each other about specific emotions, particularly me and my feelings towards other women. And I was like, basically, it's like I told her how I felt, and she reacted negatively. I came when we started talking. We were just friends. I told her pretty much like poly, open, maybe not like poly as far as like many partners, polycule or nothing like that, but definitely I am interested in more than one person. She was aware of this. We started dating, and it was like she totally Men in Black herself. And she would just be cussing me out like, where are all these other bitches coming from? I'm like, yo, bro, I'm not about to do this with you.
At all.
Have this discussion with you. Right? And it would just be like the same thing over and over again. So we weren't really dating, we were like friends. I was like, okay, no, you don't get to ask me none of that questions.
Well, that's not really someone you care about. I mean, that's someone you can throw away. That's a trash person.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of someone you want to stick around, and you don't necessarily give yourself the option of making this person trash, it's a bit more effective. For someone who's trash, it's more effective, like you're saying, just to be honest, and say, fuck that shit. But if it's someone you want to keep around, and they don't want to bring themselves to a place where honesty is an option, trying to hold them to that standard is going to make the situation worse. Because, like I said, they're not trying to be honest. Mostly what this type of tactic will give you is because if you can stop and listen to the person and not necessarily need them to get somewhere else, but you'll have a better chance of seeing where it is they are. Because what someone will tell you will ultimately show you what they're not telling you, and what they're not telling you is the important part. They'll dance around exactly what it is that they have in their mind they don't want to discuss, and so that's why they'll discuss 7 other things. But if as soon as you,
That's which I was aware of, and it's that, like you said, I do hold people to a particular standard out, and mostly like I think we have a similar education or something of that nature, like their education is similar to mine, so we should think the same things or know the same thing.
Or behave the same way.
Yeah, true. And like we were having discussions, I was like noticing, I was like, oh, you behave entirely differently than me in this type of situation. And that is where, right? And that's pretty much where we had the disagreement. And I was like, okay, I was looking at it as though she looked at it the same way as me, but she does not. So that is why our situation ended up the way it did. And I was like, so I was arguing with her like she thinks like me this whole time. And then pretty much you're like, nah. So I was like,
Do you see them sort of dancing around the subject maybe the 4th time? You're like, hold on, you're trying to fuck me. Stop. You can't be sitting there trying to fuck me. And the person's like, instead of admitting to the fact that they're fucking you, they're going to start a new dance. But if you just let them dance all the way out to step 9, well, they'll completely mark out exactly what the point is, even if they don't want to discuss it. And you can leave the conversation right there because you already know everything you need. I mean, it's not necessarily that you need them to tell you, because you already know they're not in a position where they're going to tell you that. In fact, because they got to step 9, they now feel very clever, as if, I'm winning the conversation now. This person's basically convinced.
So here's my ego part. This my ego is that I get me now. I like to beat people into submission.
And have them know it was you that did it.
Correct.
The pride, yes sir.
I like you to fucking know that I am smarter than you and you will not get over on me. That is what my facial flaw is. One of the many, but that's just what I realized at that moment. I was like, why do I need them to know that they fucking played me? I already know.
Right?
I already know what I need them to know. I needed her, and every time she had to apologize, she would be like, okay, I fucking hear you. And I'd be like, yo, you can't do that. That's fucking whack. That's the diminishing of my point.
Exactly.
And I was correct. She's like, see, every time I say something, you always got something to say. And I was like, yeah, because I'm holding you accountable.
Right?
You're a fucking dick. And dude cussed me out again, and I was like, look, don't be mad because I'm calling you out. If I'm not calling you out, who's fucking calling you out? Because you're not. Like, if you want me in your life, I'm literally a reflection of you. And I'm telling her, like, she knows all about our conversation. I'm telling her, like, I got this dude playing me every week, so everything that I see now is fucking crystal clear. It's almost impossible for me to not know what the fuck's going on, because now I think it's all my fault.
Right.
Like, when a nigga plays me, I'm like, what did I do that for?
And see, I guess sort of, for you, it's going to be a fight to allow the world to be what it is. But I mean, the more you get into the places where you allow yourself to be what you are, which you already seem quite good at, is just kind of knowing the world is already perfect. It's just, we have our opinions on the way we think things should be, but everything's going to be the way it's supposed to be. Otherwise, if anything can be anything, and it's this what it is, like, how can you say it should have been something else? Like, it could have been anything, and it's this. So the more you allow the world and the people in it to be them, you'll be able to see them even more. The less of a standard you need to hold them to. And in fact, they'll like you. You'll have to do less, and they'll like you more.
Well, that's what I would like. Subscribe to that.
Excuse me. When you hold people to the standard of growth, it's uncomfortable, especially if they're not looking to grow. That's why I have so much fun slaying people, because they're doing it from a negative perspective. It's like when you come to someone and you're positive, oh, I see so much great potential in you. You can really do better. Like, okay, wonderful. That's one way to do it. I'd rather just cut somebody's arm off. But I mean, it's
me. I do that. I'd be like, you're doing a great job. Like, even to her, I was like, see, there's so many things that you do great, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll say that one thing, but, right? Or it would be even better. Your son is. What the fuck? I thought I was using the light hand. You fucked me. And I'm over here trying to explain to you what you did wrong so you don't do it again, so I can still be your homie.
No,
that is my bad.
If a person ain't looking for honesty, seeing is going to be a terrible thing for them.
Right? And so that's, so what had happened was, because many of these things happened at once, I had resolved, I was like, okay, I need to stop trying to have these discussions. I do need to be more concerned with myself, and I need to go inward more. Find out the things that I like, instead of trying to talk to these folks that got a lot of time on their hands that just want to argue with me. And like you said, if I, stop looking at everybody for what they're not doing, and what it is like, I feel so much better now that I have, really started to, really understand myself. It's like I want to give that gift to people, I think, because what I'm thinking, I'm like, isn't this wonderful? You don't have to be fake anymore.
No, that's terrible to everyone whose life is fake. It's terrible. To even bring that to them, it's like, what do you mean? Are you suggesting I'm fake? I'm not fake. No.
Right, and with her, she was like the first person to introduce me to the term shadow work. Like, before, I didn't even know a lot of these things before I met her. And she started, really kind of getting me into this kind of stuff. And so, I'm just thinking like, oh, she's an expert, like, for years, I'm like a neophyte,
Nah, you got folks around here just throwing out the hot new spooky words.
Right,